way we treat trans individuals, especially trans women, and really trans women of color, is horrible. Supporting those very vulnerable populations is something that we need to do so intensely, and we fail so incredibly at, that it's not that surprising that they don't feel like they belong in the world and that they have a place here. And you know, when you live a life where you're subjected to, you could be killed at any time just for existing, that's a really heavy place to live in. You meet enough trans people, you're going to hear a lot of stories that involve things like suicide attempts or depression or self-harm or anything like that. When you talk about like LGBT bullying, especially LGB bullying, a lot of what happens is they get made fun of because of how they present their gender and what people think that means about their sexuality. I started getting bullied in 9th grade. It started with just like words and like people saying things in the hallway, and then it would escalate just throughout the entirety of 9th grade. People not wanting to sit next to me in class, not wanting to change in front of me in gym, getting pushed into lockers. And then towards the end of my 9th grade year, I decided that I had had enough and I was done and didn't want to live anymore. And so I put a knife in my backpack and basically said, if someone says something to me tomorrow, I'm done. And the next day, went to school. I have no idea what anyone said to me, but I know someone said something to me. And I went into the bathroom and I slit my wrist. You know, at first glance, it doesn't seem like, you know, my whole suicide attempt story has anything to do with my now identity as genderqueer, but it really does, because it has a lot to do with expression. And, you know, you have kids younger and younger identifying as, you know, anywhere on the LGBT, all of the letters realm, but you know, you don't always have that exposure, so you have to put the pieces together later. And then coming to college, I met an even more diverse group of people. I did my undergrad at University of Louisville, where I'm still doing my graduate school there. My end goal is to eventually get a PhD and be a professor, and in that do research that matters in this specific field with trans individuals and LGBT individuals, and in teaching. You know, you have a lot of effect and power when you are in front of a classroom, and so it's really useful to be able to educate people on stuff that they usually wouldn't get to know.